Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard that tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. There's a police officer from Detroit. His name is Kevin. He's in the news. And the reason Kevin's in the news is for something good, which is nice. It's always nice when a police officer can be in the news for something good. And he's in the news because of what he did for this guy after pulling him over for speeding. Kevin pulled over a 79-year-old dude by the name of David, and David was crying and visibly upset. In addition to family problems, David had bought a new TV and had been driving from store to store to get someone to help him hook it up. And somehow that's why he was speeding, because he couldn't get his TV hooked up. Here's the audio interaction.
My wife's real sick, and my son's mentally ill.
No, I'm sorry to hear that.
I really try to drive right, and I bought a television today because I want to make my wife happy, you know, and I can't get it hooked up. I don't know what to do.
You got a cable cord or anything? Well, I'm getting another police run right now, so I can't come by now, but if I have time tonight, maybe I'll stop by and take a look at it, okay?
Okay.
What we didn't know is Kevin is also part of the Geek Squad.
Oh, that's what.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Moonlights at
Yes. Most police officers and Geek Squad members are interchangeable.
Yes.
Well, you know, being a good Geek Squad member, he made good on his word. He did end up going to David's house that night.
So after his shift, he went and swung by. And,
Yeah, he
dude,
did.
that's badass.
Right?
Yeah, and he hooked up the television. And again, this dude's 79 years old, so it probably wasn't that difficult to do. But unfortunately, you know, you're 79, and you know, technology passes you by. Oh, I'm looking at that remote control. It looks like he's got a sweet Samsung.
Yep, I have that exact same remote control.
Hey,
Yeah.
me too.
Yeah. And he showed him how to view what's on TV, how to navigate to different channels. And here's audio of that.
So you scroll through the list by just pressing, okay, so how can I, well, let's say I want to find out what's on channel you're on now. Yeah, you can just use that one. It'll work now?
You can't turn the TV off or anything.
What are you doing? Yeah. This one controls the television, and you can work the channels with it. That one will only work the cable box. Okay? That sounds good. There you go. Hey, I appreciate you.
Yep.
Man.
That's like me trying to talk to my dad over the phone, trying to walk him through. I'm like, Dad, just take the TV remote control, put it in a drawer, and forget it even existed. And just everything you do is going to be on the cable remote control.
Right.
And he's like, I don't understand. I'm trying to change the channels, and now it's all staticky. I'm like, because you're using the TV remote control to change. You keep it on one channel, you're good. Yeah.
Yeah. We've all been there, and someday that's going to be me. Because, you know, the older I get, the more, you know, somebody tells me stuff about technology, and I start, I've just started ignoring people going, I don't care about that.
This text is brilliant.
Oh no. It's like, I'm becoming that guy.
The text said, so this guy just ran home, disconnected his TV real quick so he could get out of a speeding ticket. He's a genius. That would be hilarious. He knows how to work it just fine. He's like, oh yeah. So what do I do with this controller, officer?
Yeah, that's a hell of a scam. I give him credit if he's that way. Yeah, you know, it's still a feel-good story, but yeah, there's always the possibility of a scam on the dude's part. Yeah.
No, I don't know about you guys, but whenever I see like cops show up in the neighborhood and they're in front of like one of our, all I ever think is what's going on in the neighbor's house.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what is happening? Was this an issue? Like, what bad stuff is happening? Are they here to, like, you just think the worst. You're like, do I live next to criminals? Like, what? So I would be like that guy, not realizing that the entire time I'm wondering if my neighbor's a criminal. He's just getting his TV fixed by the cops.
I guess it's time to go water the plants. It's 8 p.m. Yeah, they got to get watered.
Yeah, I just want to see what's happening.
I have to go water my fake grass. I'll be right back.
Right.
Yeah. So here's a bigger question. Does this mean now that cable installers have the right to pull people over and arrest them?
Yes.
Wow.
I'm just saying, if the cops can go in there and do a cable guy's job, then can a cable guy go do the cop's job? It's only fair.
I'm having a hard time with my turntable. I'm going to just call 911 now because clearly they're here to help.
Oh, great.
It's a nice story.
It's a feel-good story.
It really definitely is.
And I feel bad for the guys. Clearly, man, that sucks having, like, you having issues at home because your wife's sick, your kid can't help you. That's tough.
And it is. Technology is really, really difficult. I run into this with my mother-in-law, and I'm so far away that it's always a challenge. Every time I go back to Boston, one of the first things my job is to go in there and just make sure all of her electronics are working. For the longest time, she's like, I don't know how to do the remote control. The buttons don't work. And, she had this just old school setup, really like how we used to, connect up our early video games. She had stuff like that.
Dude, I remember when my dad, because he's gotten to that point where it's just like, unless you're showing me how to do it, I'm not going to figure it out. And I bought, remember the time there was before our cell phones had great cameras on them and you could just record anything on it. It's as good of a quality as just having like a little digital camera. Those flip cams. They were like all the rage.
Remember. Oh, yeah.
$100 and you could like record stuff. If you're fancy, you got the one in HD and then it had like, you just hit a button and then the USB port, boom, right into your laptop. So it was like easy to like move videos from the camera to the laptop. So my dad saw I had one of those because I brought it home to like do some stuff like when I was going to New York or whatever. And he's like, oh, that's the coolest thing ever. I want one of those things. And he kept talking about it the entire time. So I was like, you know what? For his birthday, I mailed him one. I was like, happy birthday, Dad. Here's one of those flip cams. And then the next time I saw him was like a year later when I finally got to see them. And the cam was still in the box.
Oh.
And I was like, and I was like, screw it. I'm going to ask him. I'm like, Dad, I thought you wanted this. You haven't even opened it. He's like, yeah, I figured I'd wait till you came home to show me how to work it.
Oh, jeez.
I bought that for you like a year ago.
Yeah. And I can understand that, man. It's like we've all had that interaction. But then when it becomes you, that's the scary thing. It's like, am I going to be that guy? Time is time, man.
I don't think he ever used it, to be honest with you, because I did go home and I'm like, you turn and you hit record. It's really that simple. Like, it's 2 buttons. And I've never seen him post a video from that. Like, I'm pretty sure he put it back in the box and was like, why did I ask for this?
Yeah.
Stupid son that believes everything I say.
I've had those, but I've had those purchases. Have you ever had that where you thought you wanted something and you go, oh man, why did I ask for this?
Oh yeah, lots of times.
Yeah.
Snoopy snow cone machine.
Oh, really?
As
You
an
never
adult.
used that?
As an adult, once.
Oh.
And then it was like, it was exciting. Or like a make your own sushi rolls kit. My wife and I, then girlfriend at the time, we got that. We're like, we'll make sushi at home together. It'll be great. We did it once. The thing was the size of a burrito. And we're like, we're terrible at this.
It's a lot easier to just go to the restaurant.
It's worth every penny.
Hell, you can even go to the supermarket. They have some really good sushi there in some places too. So, yeah.
Oh, dude, don't knock the QFC sushi.
I did not.
Yeah, that's some good stuff. Even Fred Meyer, I got to say, has stepped it up.
Well,
Really?
you know what? Same company makes sense.
I'll be honest, I don't go balls out with the sushi there, though. Like,
well, that's good because you can get arrested for that.
Right, I don't want to, some of the raw stuff, I'm like, I don't know. Might I recommend the Louisiana roll over at the QFC? It's
the Louisiana roll.
Yeah, they put what are those little guys? The crawfish.
Crawfish?
Yeah. It's top of crawfish. It's out of this world.
Little crawfish.
Are you sure it's not just at the Puyallup QFC, or do you think we can get it at any QFC?
I think it's at any.
It's at the Renton one. I usually go there after playing hockey.
All right. Well, Renton's close to where I am, so maybe it's made its way up to Mercer Island.
If you see the Louisiana roll, get it. It's one of the best sushi rolls, and it's at the QFC.
All right. Well, there you go.
No, it's the same. I go to the Safeway one on my way home sometimes, and shout out to the sushi chef that makes it there because, sushi chef. I had to make sure I said that right. Yeah. But I got there early and I was like, do you have spicy tuna rolls? He's like, it's 10 o'clock. No. And I was like, he's like, but I'll make you two if you want to buy them. So he seriously just made it for me fresh. And I was like, this is the best.
Yeah, dude, they have like the full on chef experience there. It's crazy.
Great. That's nice.
Like, I don't know what happened I don't know if it's like that outside of Washington or if it's because here with like, having such fresh fish. Like, I don't know. I never would. You remember it used to be the joke. Like the sushi would just be like, I don't want to go near that stuff. Or you just get the California roll because you knew that it was just, fake crab and non-raw fish. But now it's like top of the line stuff, man.
Oh, look at you. Well, you know what? You're a top of the line guy. Makes sense.
Yeah.
They finally hit your pinnacle.
There's one, I can't remember which supermarket they have, and theirs is just like exactly what the old stereotype was of the gas station sushi kind of thing.
Sure.
I can't remember which convenience store, but it definitely isn't QFC or Fred Meyer.
I did gas station sushi once. Exactly once.
Woo, there we go.
Never again.
Oh yeah.
I'll go grocery store if I'm feeling sushi, but yeah, I'm avoiding.
Oh really? The hot dog roller doesn't keep them fresh?
No.
Oh, all right.
Surprisingly, no.
I gotta be honest though, I got my eyes on the gas station peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I haven't pulled the trigger on it just yet, but I keep seeing it there and I'm like, I wonder what that was
I've
like.
done gas station food before, and I mean PBJ I think is pretty solid and fine.
Like, how can you mess that up? It's
Right.
white bread and peanut butter and jelly.
Have you? Sometimes the jelly just isn't right. Or sometimes the peanut butter just isn't right either. Don't forget, they're not going to probably be using like your favorite peanut butter and your favorite Smuckers and stuff like that. They're probably not doing that. It's probably like Jimmy's jelly, and Peter's peanut butter.
That's behind the gas station. You get that
Easy
from
for
Peter.
you to say.
Yeah.
Is it though? Well, there you go.
Sushi chef.
Oh,
Yeah.
someone says that sushi that you guys are talking about only available like that here in Washington. I travel a lot around the country, and that's the only place that does it. I kind of figured that it wouldn't be.
We have a population that really does love sushi here. When you look at the fact that we have so many great Asian restaurants, it makes sense to me too that maybe you'd find cannolis, in Massachusetts or something like that where they'd have cannolis all the time everywhere.
I can't imagine North Dakota QFC or whatever is going to have like a great sushi section.
What the hell would they ever have in North Dakota? It feels like there's
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Sadness.
Yeah, it feels like they got no culture at all. I mean, did they have any influence at all from any other country? Or is it just like nowhere land?
And Steve, I love the fact that you wouldn't have sushi in North Dakota.
I had a feeling you're going to bring this up.
But you would definitely have some in Nashville, Tennessee.
Hell yeah. When I think of Nashville, I think of country music and raw fish.
Yeah, that's a big city. That makes sense to me.
I feel like that. You know what? They could probably pull a couple strings and get some good fish sent to them. It was fine.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, I'm still alive.
Yes.
I feel like any kind of southern food. Yeah, I would go with Nashville on that. Don't know about sushi.
And some of the best sushi we've ever had was at Rusan's
in Georgia.
In Georgia.
But also, they gave us some great sake bombs, and at that point, they could have given us a cardboard roll, and I'd have been like, "This is delicious."
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Atlanta is a big city, so I would hope that there's at least one sushi joint somewhere in their metropolitan area that worked.
And we found it.
Oh, we did. Someone was wondering, BJ, they said you brought it up. I was curious where you can purchase this penis butter.
Online, mostly.
Safe search on.
I'll skip on the penis butter, BJ. Thanks, though. LOL.
I'm sure Vicky can find somebody, and she'll add that to her OnlyFans page repertoire if you want. Vicky will probably find somebody that will be contributing some penis butter, I'm sure.
So Alaska Safeways have good sushi, too. I got a feeling that if you're like around somewhere that has an abundance of fish, that they could pull this off.
Well, yeah, I guess it's a good point. Any coastal city. All right. Of course, you probably want to stay away from Southern California right now.
Someone says I'm from North Carolina. We've got fresh sushi in the grocery stores as well. Harris Teeter has some pretty good selection.
Pardon me, Harris Teeter.
Who is Harris Teeter?
Is that with the penis butter?
Yeah, that's who he is, yeah. You brought her. Never mind. Well, here's a big question. Why was William Shatner on CNN cracking wiener jokes?
It's getting penis butter.
Oh, that's what it is. Oh, I need penis butter. Well, we got the audio. You're going to hear it at 8:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Make your kitchen ready for every summer gathering this Memorial Day with LG and Lowe's. Our exclusive InstaView appliance suite includes ranges with air fry, refrigerators with slow melting craft ice, and an exclusive dishwasher you can only find at Lowe's. Plus, you'll get up to 10% back via a MasterCard prepaid card when you bundle eligible LG products via rebate. Shop Memorial Day savings at Lowe's. Offer valid 3/3 through 5/18 on select LG items only. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details and timing.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. CNN's Anderson Cooper interviewed William Shatner, who I've said is brilliant because he always finds a way to get himself in the news. And the reason William's being talked to these days is because, well, he's going to go into flight next week aboard Jeff Bezos' rocket.
Dong rocket. Dong rocket.
Yeah, well, you are not the only one thinking about that. As a matter of fact, that's what Shatner was doing the entire interview. He couldn't resist mocking the phallic-looking ship, and Cooper could not stop laughing at Williams' mocking of that ship.
Some people made fun of the way the rocket looks, but I think it's cool. I like it.
Well, no, there's nothing to be, nothing to make fun of. We're inseminating the space program that is.
You know what? I threw that out there. I didn't know if you were going to pick up on it, and you did, and I love you for it.
Well, leave it to you to throw it out there for somebody else to pick it up.
Dude, I'm watching the video of this, and so William Shatner's pushing 90? I know we always talk about how
90. He is 90.
I know every time we talk about him, I'm always like, I can't believe how young he looks for 90. Anderson Cooper is 50-something, like 54, 55 years old. William Shatner looks maybe 3 years older than him. This is really weird,
Super
man.
close. It's so strange.
Yeah, when the worst part about weight loss is when you're old, man, the lines start coming in. Yeah, everything starts coming in. William Shatner is a little heavy, so that helps you out when you get older. It fills out your face. You're right.
Fat, stay youthful.
Yeah, I want to make that plan my plan, Rev. I really do.
The Botox probably helps.
Botox, schmotox.
Yeah.
You guys want to do Botox?
Kind of, actually.
No. Do you really?
Yeah, I think it'd be fun.
I'm curious.
Fun?
Me too.
I don't want to do it like all the time. I just want to know what it feels like.
Yeah,
it's kind of like when I got my eyebrow pierced. I wanted to know what that felt like, and then I instantly that day took the eyebrow piercing out because I'm like, what am I doing with this? Like, I don't want it.
You passed out during the eyebrow piercing.
I did.
Botox is a needle thing. You're going to pass out.
When you get pierced, it's a bigger needle.
Yeah.
My best friend just got Botox to try it out, and it's a teeny tiny needle. She said she barely felt it.
All right, Vicky, I'm betting breakfast. Steve passes out.
I don't pass out all the time. I get needles. I get tattoos all the time. I have gotten shots and gotten blood drawn. It just
there's something
it depends on the day and what
That's all. Yeah, how many times you get an eyebrow tattoo? Never. How many times you get a shot in the eye? Never.
But that was my partying days. Like I showed up to work half in the bag a lot. Like back in those days.
Well, I mean, you know what? These are all excuses, and I'm still willing to take that bet that Steve passes out with a face piercing. Anything done to his face?
All right, I'll get some Botox just to prove you wrong.
Yeah.
Wow. As long as you pay me, Jay.
There you go.
I was gonna say, I'm like, if Steve doesn't pass out, I'll buy you, or if he does, I'll buy you breakfast. If he doesn't, you pay for my Botox.
Why do I have to pay more for losing than you do?
I want to look like those radio folks that get like older in their careers, but they work at the pop stations and it's obvious that they're getting Botox.
Oh, yeah.
Because they just look surprised at all times. Like they're and everything's just like pushed up on their face. Like they're doing more than just Botox.
Oh yeah, they look like the Joker. Like what's his name? The Joker. What's it? Jack Nicholson's Joker. Just.
Yeah, that's why I'm so happy that I'm like, look, dude, I'm old and I'm old. But when you're ugly your whole life, it's perfect. You don't ever have to worry about like looking any different.
But if Shatner's doing the Botox thing, he's doing it right. Yeah. Because it's not overboard. You know what I mean? Because he could go crazy about it. I mean, he's 90. If he really wanted to try and capture like looking young again, he could look like just like someone that just took spackle on their face, you know?
And he actually jokes with it at the beginning of the interview with Anderson Cooper because he says, "You look extraordinary." He's like, "Oh no, I'm falling apart. It's just all internal. You should see my kidneys."
Oh yeah.
He's like, "I look great on the outside. The inside's what's messed up."
90 years old though, I don't care, man. Whatever you want. And if I believe he still rides horses, so good for him. Now Shatner was joking with Cooper about the rocket. That didn't end there. The jokes about the rocket did not end with that little segment we played.
But it certainly does look, when they say insertion, do they really mean insertion?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the whole thing.
It sounds like he's tickling Anderson.
Yeah,
he
really
has that very giddy laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he's drunk at those New Year's celebration things, that's all he does is giggle.
You know what, man? I'm taking my hat off to William Shatner. You know, he's always been a great interview whenever I've had him on. So, and he continues to be in the news. And I love that he's doing jokes about the penis ship, just like everybody else is.
Someone said, "Hey, if you're talking about needles to the body parts, though, have you seen the needle for a cortisone shot in your knee?" Now I've seen that. I'm not messing with that. I'd rather my knee hurt.
Oh, really? You aren't going to take that big needle?
Those needles are gnarly. It looks like a stingray they're putting in your body.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't look at that. I'd have to just go, you know what? I'm gonna be, I don't know, put me somewhere else where I can't see that at all. Put a hood over my head.
Yeah, put a box over my head or something.
Yeah, I don't want to see that at all.
Yeah, those things are gnarly.
Yeah, I close my eyes. I just had, more work at the dentist. And even though it's easy as pie now how they do it, so that even when you get Novocaine, you don't even know it. But still, I'm like, I don't want to see that needle. They do their best to hide it, but I go, oh, I got a better way to hide it. I close my eyes.
Do that. Yeah, but it only takes one time for them to not fully Novocate, like do the Novocate and numb your mouth. When like it takes that one time where it's not fully numbed up and you feel that it creates anxiety for the rest of it. Like, because I remember one time a few years ago, they were doing some stuff and they gave me the Novocaine or whatever it was, like the numbing stuff. And I'm like, yeah, feeling good. Whoa. And it hit you in a way like you're just like, this feels like just like someone just murdered my mouth. Ever since then, I'm like, just a stress ball because I knew what that felt like for a half. And I remember they're like, did that hurt? And I'm like, yes, it hurt a lot. And like, oh crap. Okay. We got to give you more. I'm like, yeah. You should have just gave me more in the get-go. Like, make it so I'm just drooling uncontrollably.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like, they didn't give you enough Novocaine.
Right.
Yeah. That also happened to me recently too.
Just load it up, man.
See, I try to tough it out, and this time I didn't. I was like, you know what? This is dumb. They can numb me completely. Why would I tough it out? Like, it hurt, but it wasn't like, okay, I'm on the floor. But I was like, but you know what? They just started. I better tell them.
Oh, dude, I tell them the moment I feel uncomfortable. I'm like, yep, that doesn't feel good. I'm like, I don't want to deal with that.
I remember the needle itself was hard to take. Before they used to numb you, before they numbed you. Like whatever they do to your gum now is a miracle because you don't feel the Novocaine going in. But, back in my day, they didn't have that. And the Novocaine was massively painful. It was like, wow, this is what they've got to do to get me not to feel pain. And pretty much you're like, oh, well, you do whatever you want to me now. You just wrecked me. Just to numb me up.
We got an update about Russ, speaking of just like getting injury.
Russ Willie?
Russ Wilson, yeah. Russell Wilson. According to Ian Rappaport, he had some x-rays done and did not show a fracture. But MRI can show and reveal more, so there's still a chance of, it not being okay. And then their surgery is still a possibility and it's part of the evaluation process. So that's what's the latest. And they think it's the initial belief that he has mallet finger, which is a sprained joint that makes it hard to flex a finger.
Oh, okay. Which it looked like that was, okay.
Mallet finger does not sound good.
No, it doesn't. And I hear it takes several weeks to heal. But, Russ, he'll probably just dip his hand in his nano bubbles, and then all of a sudden he's...
Oh, yeah, nano bubbles.
Yeah, it's a weird thing that, we've seen him hobble around a little bit, when he was injured a few years back.
We've seen his knee go in the other direction, and he still finished, and he still played the next game.
So this is interesting to see if this will be the first game without him. But, he's a 10-year vet now, and I think you got to be careful with him, especially when it comes to the digits. Hand injuries are tough, just in general. So you let that baby heal up, and hopefully Geno can be good enough that we're competitive against the next, because we have some teams that we should be okay with. If anybody on the schedule you'd be okay with, according to Mitch, this is not a bad time for this to happen.
Of all stretches, this is probably the best stretch for this to happen.
Yeah.
Can't you just cut the finger off or something like that?
I hadn't thought about that. Yeah.
Come on, Russ. Don't you want to be MVP?
Come on, man.
You can't be MVP with a bad finger.
Yeah.
I felt so bad. And not that I was laughing at the Rams quarterback, but just being like, oh man, his finger hurts. What's wrong with his finger? And then Russ has his.
Yeah.
So it's your fault, Danny.
It was my fault, 100%.
Thanks a lot, Danny.
Douche.
Yeah.
Sure.
You don't jinx yourself that way. All right, so again, Steve just reported that the X-rays did not show a fracture, but they are going to get an MRI, which still could show that. But they do think he has mallet finger, so that's the latest on Russell Wilson, and which mallet finger makes it difficult to basically straighten out the finger.
Yep.
Which, of course, on your middle finger on your throwing hand, that's an issue.
But can we talk about good news in the world of Seattle sports?
What do we got going on? What's happening?
Did you guys see that Shaq was in town yesterday?
Yes.
Rocking a Kraken jersey?
Yes.
What?
He's got his own chicken company, like a fast food type place. And they're going to be featured in Climate Pledge Arena. So he came down and served people the chicken. They're going to make a menu item called the Kraken, which I think is like chicken and cream cheese or something crazy going on.
Yeah, there's cream cheese involved in it. I know that.
Oh, that's so cool. I love that the cream cheese theme is being part of a Seattle delicacy.
But look at him rocking the Kraken jersey, which I imagine is the goalie cut size because he's just so big.
He's huge. I want to see someone like Vicky wear that jersey.
Yeah.
Or maybe not see Vicky at all.
I would say it's a sleeping bag, but let's be honest, it's a full-on tent on it.
Yeah.
Oh, that is cool. So that is fantastic that this will be probably the only location to get his chicken unless he opens up some other places around here.
It's called Big Chicken, and it's going to have an exclusive Kraken sandwich, which has buffalo sauce, cream cheese, and blue cheese.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Right now.
That sounds delicious.
Did you see that picture?
It's a one-of-a-kind chicken joint, they call it.
Well, you know what? I mean, he's, they got some stiff competition with his L's, but okay.
I like chicken.
Yeah,
I want to try this.
Me too.
Okay, then.
I think it's just called Big Chicken. He's got the Uncle Jerome, which has Nashville hot chicken mayo and some pickles on it.
Delicious.
Shaq, I feel like he is involved in everything. So from a business standpoint, from a business standpoint, this guy must have a portfolio that's insane.
Dude, he was around the streets of Seattle riding one of those Lime scooters. And it's the funniest visual because the Lime scooter, no joke, doesn't reach his privates.
Oh, that's hysterical.
That's the way to put it.
And he's reaching down so the sleeves are going up on his jersey, and he just looks terrified.
That is awesome. Oh, and he's next to somebody who he just towers over. Wow.
Yeah, if you just type in Shaq and Kraken chicken, you'll be able to find all these pictures on Google that are just freaking awesome. And the chicken looks delicious.
How cool is that? Well, I know what you're going to have first time in the joint.
Oh, no!
Hell yeah.
I got tickets for a game in December. Hopefully I'll get to one before that, but I'll definitely be getting that in December.
Man, here's hoping that it does so well that he opens up some places outside the arena.
I bet that's next.
Yeah, right now there's only locations in Glendale and Las Vegas that I see on their site.
Look at his hat.
Really?
Wait, he's wearing a hard hat that looks like a children's hat.
It's too small for him.
It really is. They don't have one to
most
fit
of
him.
his head.
Wow.
Like
honestly, if anything falls on him, it needs protecting. Let's be honest.
It's a good thing he's rich as all hell. I mean, hey, he always spreads the wealth. He's done some great stories of just hooking up people without wanting media attention. He's always taking care of just random people and spreading the wealth, which I think is super commendable. But could you imagine being that big and not having the funds to be able to get clothes that would fit you?
No.
Because he has to. I mean, I know there's big and tall shops, but I got to imagine that it's almost impossible for him to find anything that fits him properly unless he gets it done custom.
And anything where, what if he walks in and he sees because what it's like to see stores where it's just for all the skinny people, like they're if you will, the average size person. Even me as a big guy, I walk in, I go, that's a great fashion, but they don't have it in my size. So yeah, for him to be able to have the funds to do that, because big and tall people have a hard time getting anything that they really want to wear. They just go, I got to wear this because it's all that fits me.
Plus, the French fries look really good.
Yeah.
Hey,
they look like the JoJo's type of style.
Oh, are they?
I could be wrong, but
they remind me of the steak fries they have at Red Robin.
Yeah. Nice. So he's got 2 other locations. Are they in arenas? I mean, I don't know where the Anaheim Ducks play, and I don't know where.
It sounds like this is the in arena debut.
Oh, all right then. Look at us.
And apparently he did an interview, and he said that the Climate Pledge Arena is the coolest arena he's ever been in.
Nice.
Which is saying a lot because this guy's been to every arena.
You're absolutely right. Wherever they play hockey, he's probably been there because basketball and hockey usually shares the same joint. So yeah, that's cool. Wow. All right. So he's been in it. He's seen it. He likes what he's seen.
Bringing us chicken. He brought them chicken. He should have brought us chicken.
You're absolutely right. Maybe you know what? Maybe we're not on the Lime scooter route. Maybe that's why. Yeah. We need to get access. That's what we knew. All right, well, that's really cool news. Man!
Oh, he's even got ice cream sandwiches there, BJ.
Oh, I would be willing to try. Oh, whoa, that looks delicious. Chocolate chip cookie ice cream sandwich and then something with a... Wow. Are we supposed to have all 3 of those?
I would like to try them all.
It looks like they put ice cream on the ice cream sandwich.
I think someone just stacked them.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's a chocolate. Oh, it's double chocolate with chocolate. Whoa!
I was on the fence about spending so much money to go to the home opener. This sold me.
Now it's a $400 ticket. It's worth it to get some of this chicken.
Drop it right now.
Oh, they look so good. Oh, they really, really do. I love this plan. Man,
I'll go see Coldplay. If I could, I feel like that at least will be the only way I can get in there soon.
Good call.
Yeah, go see Coldplay just so I can eat the chicken. Thanks. How was Coldplay? I'm like, no idea. I ate 4 chicken sandwiches from Shaq's place.
Yesterday, Steve, he did get this one wrong.
Who has been president of Russia since 2000?
Oh, man. Crap. I can see him. He plays hockey. Oh, man.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, Boris Yeltsin?
No,
not him. Not Gorbachev. Crap. Bernie Sanders.
No. Yes. Wow.
I can't think of his name.
Yeah. Do you remember now still?
Yeah, Putin the net.
Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin. That's the guy. You want a shot at beating Steve? You got it. 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Miggs at 8:50 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. Here's a question from a listener. My house is currently in foreclosure. I've stopped making payments. What can I do to save my house?
If you're already in foreclosure behind on your mortgage, you can stop the foreclosure by filing a bankruptcy. There's different types of bankruptcy. Chapter 13 can help you catch up on your house payments if you're behind. It would mean that you'd have to start making your house payments again and catch up on the amount that you're behind over 5 years. You could also take off or strip off your second mortgage, which would help you to reduce your housing payment every month, especially once you're done with the plan and done catching up on your first mortgage. We could also try to buy you some time by filing a Chapter 13 case. Filing a Chapter 13 would definitely stop your foreclosure.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at ChooseTheRightChapter.com. That's ChooseTheRightChapter.com. And thanks for listening.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.